Hi, Group 4. I'm Danielle again, and I will be talking about Chapter 14 in the Skinner book, and it's called Summing Up. And this chapter has a lot of information, so bear with me. I might have to go slide by slide really quick because it's actually pretty a lot and kind of overwhelming. But I really tried to simplify it for all of you guys. So this chapter kind of talks about Skinner summing up 20 statements made about behaviorism, and he believes they are wrong. And like I said, I tried so much. I tried my best to kind of simplify it slide by slide, so I might have to go really fast. Okay, so the first statement is methodological behaviorism and certain versions of logical positivism ignore consciousness, feelings, and state of mind. However, radical behaviorism does not. So what do they talk about? Consciousness, and these are the list of what they said about consciousness. And for E, the introspective knowledge, self-knowledge, is effective for two reasons. And the two reasons mentioned in the book is verbal community cannot bring self-descriptive behavior and no opportunity for evolution of a nervous system, which would bring part of the body under the control. So that's that. For number 2 statement, behaviorism neglects innate endowment. It says in the Watson referred to hereditary and habit equipment of people. So it says in the book that, Watson can take an infant or an individual and kind of turn them into a doctor or a lawyer or an artist or some or it's etc. But Skinner kind of expanded that social and political issues also play a greater role, and environment and education is also influential to the individual. So number 3, triggers, just like the Pavlov, showing how stimulus or trigger can elicit reflex response. And then 4, human being attend to or disregard the world. They search, generalize, discriminate, respond, solve problems, describe things, analyze, and discover. So I will have this link in the discussion thread so that you guys can follow through, because I know the words are cut off because of the video. Anyways, so number 5, evolutionary theory, pretty much says that behaviorism neglects feelings. 6, contingencies of reinforcement. 7, origination is the heart of a sense of self. 8, behavioristic analysis is superficial and does not go beyond mind or personality. Honestly, this statement, I thought when I was reading it, I thought it was also funny. Because I definitely disagree. Anyway, so the 9th statement, existentialist, phenomenologists, and structuralists limits prediction and control. Behaviorist in America works not with rats, but with people. The 11th statement, experimenting with men and women in laboratories, is an objection. Labs are designed to control conditions, obviously, and we cannot predict or control the human's behavior, to be exact. 12, it's naive to say that people are just like rats or pigeons. Freud called behaviorism naive. The 13th, behaviorists are accused of worshiping science. This is common criticism of a social and behavioral sciences. 14, operant condition application. The 15th, behaviorist observes the doings of animals and determines whether it shows knowledge or error. Human behavior is most subtle and complex phenomenal, which I agree that human behavior is pretty complex. Behavior analysis dehumanizes man in his humanity. I definitely disagree with that. Anyways, okay. So 17th, science has been accused at one time and neglects the uniqueness of the case and in its general principles. So psychotherapy is responsible for the humanistic psychology. The 18th, basic research in the science of behavior is essential, manipulative. Experimenters set up conditions under for subjects to behave a certain way and controls behavior. I don't know exactly how someone would say this kind of statement about behaviorism, that controlling behavior, when it really depends on the individual of how they would act with a certain way. 19th, morality and justice raise an additional problem. The 20th statement, more interested in feelings rather than behavior. I mean, honestly, with this statement, I was a little confused because since, being in a behaviorism approach, I think it's more so that behaviorism is more interested in the behavior rather than the feelings, because feelings is more so the mentalistic part approach. So anyways, behaviorists own behavior. So many misunderstanding and criticisms in the introduction. Like I said earlier, that Skinner does not agree in any of the 20 statements that I mentioned earlier. Behaviorist constantly violates his own principles by using mentalistic terms such as I think. Okay, but we are in the positive side now. Complexity of the experimental environment has gradually increased as approached in daily life. Environment performs the functions previously assigned. Behavior analysis acknowledges the importance of physiological research, and behaviorism has most drastic change. And luckily, with these statements, I completely agree. Okay, so future behaviorism. Behavior science is not a behavioristic in the present sense. Considered that science is too young to solve problems, and I feel like science is always evolving each time, each year, each decade. Greater problems are now global, and man can now control his own destiny because he knows what must be done and how to do it. Okay, so that is pretty much the um, the summary, or to simplifying it in a way, for the book. And with that, this is my discussion question, or discussion questions. And what are your thoughts about the misconception and criticism about behaviorism? Do you agree with Skinner, or are there some statements that you kind of agree or do not agree? And how did it change? For me, my to answer this, through hearing the misconceptions at first about behaviorism, I thought they were true, at least some of them, but then it changed through my research, or through reading research in the past, and currently what's going on, and being in the field as a behavior technician, and seeing the effects on the individuals I work with, specifically children with autism. So that's it for my presentation. I hope you got the best, and good luck on this last week. Bye.